Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and welcome to a special edition of Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And I'm here today to talk to you about Xena Warrior Princess Season 3, The Debt. This is an extremely important episode. It is also a very beautiful episode. This episode was a first for a lot. It introduced us to that Boreas for the first time. A man from the country of Hungary. They say online he's Hunnish, but if you're from Hungary, aren't you Hungarian? I guess not. So Hunnish it is. And he is played by Martin Caucus. And so we've heard of Boreas before with the whole centaur thing, but now we get to see him in the flesh. And he is one of the most intriguing Xena characters of all time that Gabrielle never got to meet. However, she did get to see his son, who was very similar to him. This also introduces us to one of the coolest Xena characters of all time, La Mao, played by Jacqueline Kim. And La Mao was a very beautiful, very wise, very sincere, and very intelligent woman. And she was kind of like Xena's confidant and somewhat of a mentor, like, in terms of wisdom. But other than that, she really didn't teach Xena nothing. She taught Xena how to, let go of her hate and all this other stuff. And that is part of the reason why Xena turned good but it took many years later. It also introduces us to Min Chien. And Min Chien is one of Xena's, ruthless, villains. But those two never lay a hand on each other. It's quite ironic. Normally, one of Xena's major foes will at least, fight her in hand-to-hand combat. But these two never strike each other. It's quite fascinating. Also, this episode was supposed to be a theatrical movie, but that fell through, so Robert Tabbert just made it into a two-parter episode. This is also the first time Xena has went to the country of Qin. Sometimes they say China, but they keep saying Qin. So I'm gonna say Qin because Qin really is a real life country. This is also piggybacking off of all the dramatic stuff that's been going on with Xena and that of Gabrielle with Rome and that of Britannia. And the whole Gabrielle giving birth to that of Hope. I forget the evil demonic god name, dude. Daok, that's it. Daok was cool, man. He was a villain for sure. And it was so interesting they crossed him over even to that of Hercules and stuff. And so this episode is revered by a lot of fans as being one of the best of the best. Season 3 was extremely good. After all this dramatic, sad stuff, they had to get us for a little bit of comedy 3 episodes in a row after this. And the most interesting thing about the characters that are introduced into this episode is that they're all dead. Except for one who will later end up dead at the end of the episode. Heck, even Xena is dead. Gabrielle is the sole survivor of this entire episode. And so, the way this episode was filmed was very dramatic. They utilized backstory and flashbacks in a very effective way. And it had a great balance and stuff, very much how Arrow used to be. And so in the first episode, that's mostly all you get is Xena in the present day telling Gabrielle what all happened in the past. And the cinematography, the time when La Ma like, was kind of doing kind of like, she took her sleeve and she wrapped Xena in it and they floated in the air, which is never explained how they're able to float in the air and also use those magical powers. It was very beautiful. I love how they use practical effects with her sleeve. If it was done today, it would be CGI. But just the way it came out and moved through, like, the air was breathtaking and everything. And this is actually one of, like, probably like the second time we got reference to Xena loving another woman and stuff. This episode, we get to see, Xena in the present day. There's a person, like, in the bushes, and he is dying. Why? Because there's a bunch of ninjas after him. Now, I'm pretty sure the ninjas are like white people and just like, masked because their eyes don't look Asian and stuff. And so, like, but at least they didn't paint their color skin. And one of the cool things about this episode that is very Asian based, every Asian person appears to be Asian. There's only two that kind of appear to not be Asian, but I really don't know their background, but it just kind of don't look it. But yeah, but you can tell the people who are probably fighting, most likely they're not Asian and stuff. It's probably just a regular martial arts team that they have with Xena. And so, like, the person tells Xena that the green dragon has become too big and he has to become small. Xena knows exactly what this means. It's a promise she made to an old friend many years ago, back when Xena was probably in her mid to late 20s. After Xena got her legs crippled by that of Caesar in Rome, she traveled all around Britannia. It is there she traveled to Hungary and she found Boreas. And those two roamed the countryside in the different countries and across the seas, just like looting and killing people. But the thing about him is that yes, Boreas is a villain, but he has a moral code, and there are things he just won't let Xena do. But these two have an on again, off again friendship relationship, and they're always betraying each other and they're always using each other. But Boreas has a very unique and cool look to him. So basically, they hit the chin. Xena's legs are halfway healed from acupuncture from that one dude who healed her many years ago. But she still has to walk with a crutch. And so by this time, she is just ruthless. Just like she said, a new Xena is born and she's just killing people left and right. It's part of her path of wanting to take over the world and conquer it. And so it's there that they kill a bunch of Asian guards that belong to this one emperor dude. Basically, what it is that they're moving in and everything that they steal and, attack the other dude's enemies, they'll give him like half. And so Xena does not like the emperor because he wants half instead of 1/3 of like all the stuff they steal. Basically, they are his reinforcements, his enforcers and stuff like that. So Boreas tries to have it both ways. If he's gonna make a deal with the emperor, and he's gonna make a deal with the ruler of the House of Lao. And so, like, it turns out to be a woman. It turns out that La Mao's husband is a man in a coma. She keeps him that way. He's very ill and half past dead. If he dies, then his brother takes over, or his cousin or uncle, and La Ma does not want that. She wants peace throughout her land, and she knows that, like, the other dude's relative will not do a very good job. Also, her husband is a very cruel man. And the thing about La Ma is that, like, even if you do her wrong, she will still help you out. She doesn't have hatred in her heart. She's a very peaceful woman. So Boreas is trying to, like, cozy up to her to the point where it looks like they're about to make out. This pisses off Xena to where she kind of attacks Lao Ma. And so Xena is like bent on wanting to kill this woman. But she sees this woman is no lightweight. This woman can kick some behind, and she whoops Xena's behind. Lao Ma also studies a certain type of religious spiritual practice that gives a person power. The power of telekinesis, the power to see one's destiny, and to shoot this type of energy that comes from the palm of your hands. It basically looks like wind in the shape of like a handprint. And so we see, Xena and Barai's constantly going back and forth, breaking up, betraying each other, trying to kill each other, all this other stuff, because Xena is a hothead. Xena just like has no chill, and she's always ruining stuff. She ruins things so much by trying to kill Lama that Lama does not want to do business with Barais. It is after this that like he banishes Xena and stuff. Xena decides she's gonna get Barais back and get some money on top of that. So she kidnaps Minchien, the son of the emperor, who's like a little 10-year-old boy. Because of this, Barais is furious, and the emperor would do anything to get him back, even pay her 50 bags of gold. What Xena doesn't understand is that Barais double-crossed her and sold her to that of the emperor. So she is now caged and part of his property. He decides he's gonna hunt her, and it's a very scary sight because remember, her legs are not well. So she has to run on a crutch, and the dogs are coming after her very quickly. This is when she is saved by La Ma. And so La Ma takes her and heals her. She heals her legs. She gives Xena a purpose. She tries to quell the anger within Xena's heart, but she is unable to once Xena sees Barais. But La Ma also has to hide her from that of the emperor. This is when we get probably like our second girl on girl kiss, kind of, where Xena's underwater and La Ma has to give her some air to breathe, which you're not supposed to do that. When you blow out air, well, actually, I don't know. If you blow air in somebody's mouth, that gives them oxygen. But they say if you're underwater, you're taking in H2O and you're taking out carbon dioxide. So why is it bad if you do it underwater, but it's not bad? The person is I don't know. That's so weird. Maybe because you're not actually giving them oxygen and everything. That's so weird how we take in H2O and turn it into something different. So anyway, that's just so weird, man. Science is so cool. And so this is when we get the cool stuff, like them floating in the air. And she tries to teach Xena peace. She teaches Xena that you can disarm a person with just a brooch or kill them if need be. You don't need so much force. But Xena is unrelenting. She tries to kill Barais. This is when La Ma breaks those two up and tells them that she needs them both because Barais is tight with that of the emperor and Xena's tight with her. She wants Xena to rule as her warrior princess. How Xena got the title and stuff. She would be like Xena's enforcer and help her rule the land. And, and they would have a liaison with that of Barais, who has the emperor's ear. And so, this is a fascinating thing, and it shows there's more to La Ma. She is a woman who not only wants peace, but also wants power at the same time, but not in a corrupt way. Of course, Xena and Barais, they decide they're not going to have this crap. They play a game of chance, and they kill the emperor. They kill him because of what he did to Xena. This pisses off La Ma to where she attacks the crap out of Xena and Barais. After that, we don't know when Xena and Barais left Chen. But at some point in time, she told Xena that Michien is her son. And she told Xena that if he ever gets too big, to make him small again. Basically, I'm assuming to take him out. That's how Xena interpreted it. So when she landed in Chin, she put on some like black mud that made her look like she's blackface. And then she went with a knife, completely butt naked. Although the actress is really wearing like something around her top and around her like mid area, and she just covered in paint. She goes to assassinate the Green Dragon, who is Min-Chien, only for Gabrielle to appear. See, Gabrielle did not want Xena to murder somebody who she believes was innocent, because she believes Xena would never be able to come back from that path, especially all they've been through lately. But the question is, how in the world did Gabrielle get the chin when Xena headed out before her? Well, about 11 episodes later, it's revealed that Gabrielle made a promise with Ares, and that one day she would have to collect. I believe she traded her soul, I believe. And so, like, because of this, Xena feels totally betrayed, and she wants nothing to do with Gabrielle. Gabrielle, self-righteous that Gabrielle is, believes she did the right thing, but is starting to realize that the new emperor is a very evil man. And he double crosses Gabrielle. He tells her, if Xena promises to never try to attack him again, then I will just banish her. Xena will not comply to that. Gabrielle is smacking the crap out of her to the point of Xena crying, not because it hurts, but because it emotionally hurts. She got betrayed by somebody she loves. And Lao Ma was one of the first women that Xena ever loved, because Lao Ma, when she made Xena service that of the emperor, Xena did not want to because of what he did to her, right? And so Xena said, I can serve you instead. And La Ma's all like, well, yeah, because, it's easy to serve the one you love. And so, like, the emperor, he is immature. The emperor, he tells Gabrielle he was going to kill Xena anyway, even if she did promise that. So after that, Xena and Gabrielle make up by scratching Xena's nose. I was very taken by this. I was not expecting that at all. Like for them to, rekindle with the form of just scratching one's nose. But Xena did not want to hold a grudge. She is starting to see what Lama was talking about many years ago. So at some point when Xena was down in the water with this giant thing over her neck, it was revealed to her that Lama was put to death. And so when Xena is now forced to be put to death, we get a cool montage of Lama talking in a very cool way about her spirituality and stuff like that, and how to harness your power. It is then Xena is now able to use telekinesis, and she's able to use that power discharge, and she brings the entire castle down, boy. Like Xena ain't having this crap. So she buries Min-Chien only for him to come out the rubble and, tell Xena that he has a gift for her. It's something that La Ma gave him to give back to her, and that he has La Ma's book. Xena informs him that La Ma was his mother. He pretends that he knew it all along, which he really did not. If he did, most likely he would have never killed his mother, even though he felt like his father was a coward. See, Xena, when she kidnapped him, she taught him the ways of being ruthless and everything. His father was the first person to teach him that, but it was Xena that really taught him that. This is one of Lucy's best performances as an evil person. I feel like she nailed it perfectly, and having her hair a little ratty and long made it look perfect. It's in other episodes in the future she kind of overdoes the whole evil thing. They make her hair look too nappy looking. She's just her regular self, but it's like she's just playing to be mean, but she ain't she's not really acting to be mean. So because of this, Min-Chien is taunting that of Xena, talking all kind of crap about La Ma. Xena ain't having this crap. And so when Gabrielle leaves, Xena takes the brooch that La Ma gave her and she puts it in the side of Min-Chien's head. I knew something was up with him because he was too still when he was sitting, because before he was standing up. and she faked it to Gabrielle, pretending that Michien was alive when actually he wasn't. So for many episodes, she lied to Gabrielle until Gabrielle found out the truth in the bitter suit or sweet, I think it's called, that singing episode in season 4 or yeah, season 4. That's when Gabrielle realized Xena lied to her. And like I said before, this episode was amazing. Now there is a follow-up episode to this 2 seasons later. In the episode Purity and Back in the Bottle, we see Gabrielle, Xena, and Joxer head back to Chin when Xena is pregnant. And then we find the twin daughters of La Ma. I can't remember if they was born before Michien or after. But this episode is not as great as the debt. Even Robert Tabbert doesn't really like this episode. Basically, something happens where 1,000 souls are like, in trouble, and Xena only saves like a few, and something about terracotta soldiers and something else. I don't know. It's a weird 2-parter episode, but it is cool when Michien comes back and possesses the body of one of the evil twins when she dies. But it's kind of weird how the moment she dies, she's able to find her brother in the underworld, and they are able to fuse bodies. Also, the power of La Ma is completely different in this episode, where it's kind of like red laser beams for some bizarre reason. Also, Joxer is trying to find the ingredients to make black powder so he can make bombs and fireworks and crap to help defeat the enemy. Basically, it's an episode that it's a pretty okay good episode. It's just not great. But at Alex Kurtzman, the dude who's responsible for New Trek, is one of the people who pinned the episode together. So, hey, go fig Newton, you know what I'm saying? Happy Asian and Pacific Islander month, everybody. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.